Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Virtual Canada A, as the drivers of Sunday Night Skippy are preparing for a 40-minute race around Canadian Tire Motorsports Park in Ontario, Canada. This has it all: left turns, right turns, uphills, downhills, and plenty of drafting. I, for one, am extremely excited to see what the drivers have in store for us tonight, in case you didn't notice. As a quick reminder, we are simulcasting tonight on both CavOK Racing Network's YouTube and Twitch platforms. Just search for CavOK Racing, that's C-A-V-O-K. As always, feel free to join in on the conversation with your comments and questions, and we'll be monitoring the comment section of both YouTube and Twitch, and hopefully get to you as time permits. And with that, back by popular demand, Max is in the house tonight. How are you doing tonight?
Good. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, let's see how it unfolds. It looks like we have a good set of drivers, like around 35, 36. Yeah, I'm excited. How about you?
Yeah, I am. I like this course. I haven't done much racing on it, but I love to watch races, and I know that the Skip Barber is going to be great on here, especially with these drivers and their skills as they whip these cars around the track. We should see some good team tactics coming into play as well, which I'm very excited about. That's a new thing for the Sunday Night Skippy League, is the team aspect, and I'm curious to see if maybe somebody can take advantage of Edwin and Christian, because they've been pretty dominant so far. But you know what? It's a new race, it's a new night, and it's anybody's game at this point. Well, also joining us tonight, as always, is Ian's going to be here, giving us what we crave: pure, uncut content. How you doing tonight, Ian?
I'm doing pretty well, mate. Doing pretty well. Tonight I have actually switched to push to talk, which means that sometimes I will be talking, and sometimes I'll have to let the talk button go as I'm negotiating corners.
Hey, that's fair. I know it's always tough to kind of find that balance. And by the way, thank you for doing what you do and commentating as you actually do the race itself. I think that's, I don't think people, maybe they do. I think a lot of people probably appreciate how difficult that is, but I just wanted to say thanks one last time.
Yeah, that seems pretty hard, like focusing on the course and also talking to the questions and stuff.
I mean, I can barely talk doing nothing, just sitting here, so good on you, mate.
No worries, man. All good fun, all good fun.
Well, I don't know where we're at with the drivers' meeting at all, but we are riding on board with you, so I don't know if this is a great time. I see, it looks like Jonathan Dockery is going to pass you here.
Yeah, I think that they're getting ready to get that started, and I think the Charles are doing their last lap of practice before the drivers' meeting starts. So with that, let me start. So here we are. We're sitting at the start-finish straight at Mosports, and someone's just smashed into me. Ah, bugger.
Well, that's a good start.
I
Are you
will
all
reset
damaged?
the pits. I will reset the pits. But this is the start-finish straight anyway. So if we were to start, we would go down. So I'll try and do 2 laps before the time runs out. Let's see what we can do.
Fantastic.
So here we are in the pits. So let me drive out of the pits.
And those nice cold tires.
So this is going to be interesting. This track is a track of horrible off-camber corners. Anyway, the pits drops you out onto this little straight here before we come up to the first left-hander, which is off-camber and downhill, and your car really wants to land up in that big lovely lawn over there on the right hand side. And then we come down here, a little bit of lift, drop a gear around this here as we now power down to our next downhill off camber corner, which is this left coming up here just before Moss. Moss corner is quite a famous corner. It was going to be a hairpin when they originally planned the track, but they spoke to Sterling Moss and he suggested a double apex corner just to make it more difficult. And there you go. You have to sort of manage your way around that before we go screaming for a Skippy, I guess, up the Mario Andretti Straight. And it's a famous track, this. It was built in the 1950s. And Jack Brabham has won here. Fittipaldi has won here. Jackie Stewart has won here. And Sterling Moss has even raced here. So you can see this is the beginning of the S's, as they call them. This is a fast set of right-left complex. Slow a little bit for this one. Try and get it right before you drop down into third gear and you're back over the start-finish straight. And so you'll see here as I go over the start line, you've got a right-hand downhill off camber with a parked car even, which you try and get your tyre right about on that line just like that, and then pray that you don't put your tyre off there and go spinning out of control. And as I said, you come down to this weird sort of downhill off camber turn where you're fighting the car the whole way round, trying to stop it from going onto the grass.
Good job.
Like that.
And that is
Yeah.
why this is such a difficult track.
That is a description of what not to do.
So there you go. That is why this track is so difficult.
Well, where do you see the potential passing zones in your estimation?
Well, that is going to be very interesting. A lot of stuff that's going to happen today. You're going to get the very fast front runners because it's only a 2.5 mile, it's a 2.49 mile track. 10 turns, 8 to the right, 7 to the left. And you'll find that the fast guys are going to be catching the back guys within a few laps, I would think. And so there's going to be a lot of blue flag passing. But it is not an easy track to pass on. Turn 1 where I crashed, if you really cannot run the outside of that corner. It is, slightly off camber. It will throw you into the grass quicker than you can say abracadabra. And so that will be an interesting place where some people are going to try and take the inside line in there, force other folks to the outside. They will probably back off a little bit to make sure they keep the car on the track. That's turns 2 and 2A. Turn 3 is a high-speed right-hander where they're just going to drop a gear or two to go around. I don't think you'll see much turning there. Turn 4 is under that wee bridge, downhill left-hander, off camber again just before Moss. You might see some overtaking coming up onto the inside of Moss. If you have the inside line on that first sharp right-hander, Moss is yours because it's a right-hander followed by a right-hander, and anybody on the outside just can't keep up with you through there. You'll see a huge amount of drafting going up the Mario Andretti straight there at the back, up that hill, up to the beginning of the S's, and you'll probably see quite a few overtakes actually happen on that trip up that hill as people draft along up there, and then take someone going into the S's. And I think those are really the places that you're going to see it. So you're going to have the Brave Souls on turn 1, which is the one that I crashed on. You probably won't see anything on the Brave Souls on turn 2 and 2A. That's where I crashed. You probably won't see much on turn 3 or on turn 4. But coming into Moss, which is 5 and 6, you'll see overtakes there. And as I said, going up that hill, Mario Andretti straight, and then turns into the S's, you'll see some overtakes there.
Fantastic. Well, we were talking earlier. I'm sure you heard the team dynamic. We're in week 3 now, and if we're being honest here, Edwin and Christian seem to be dominating that team dynamic, and they have their tactics down quite well. Do you think that there's any other teams that have been kind of watching and paying attention and learning, and can maybe challenge them today?
Well, I know there's a lot of teams that are dreaming, but those guys are really quite dominant. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't know yet how the next set is shaking out. Of course, Pete Mabrodin and his team is always one that you need to keep an eye on.
Of course. Nope.
Did we lose him?
I think we may have lost him there. But yeah, he was talking about team full fuel strategy with Pete Mabrodin and Walter Collada. They are definitely, I want to call them up and comers. I want to call it a comeback, but exactly, if they can get those tactics down and be in harmony, I think that they they have a very good chance of pushing toward the front. Same thing, I think, with Adequate Racing with Don Parks and Jonathan Dance. I don't think they've met their full potential just yet. And, never count out the Voyagers with Jack Moffitt and Nikolai Wood.
So
Max,
qualifying.
yeah, go for it. Sorry, go ahead.
It's just to let you know, it's going to be split into two groups, A and B. Group A is the teams. Group B is the singles. And I think you'll find that Group A is going to be the bigger of the two. So 7.5 minutes of Group A, then followed by the singles.
All right, so that's reminiscent of some of the other racing or another qualifying session we did. We do have, I believe, it was close to 40, if not over, cars that were in the practice session. I don't know if they will all be starting, but yeah, that's anybody watching. That's why we're doing that to avoid having all 40 cars trying to do the 15-minute open qualifier all at the same time. So basically, you'll get half the time, but teams will get to run together, and then the free agents will also have their own time out there as well. And as Frank says, keep your eye out for the gasless wonders. I kind of like that one too, but yeah, keep running on empty out there as well. Who keep saying don't sleep on these guys, but I mean, we've got a lot of really fast drivers. James Hauser and Chris Herrera are always up there at the front of the pack. So if we can get that fuel strategy down, knows.
Hey, do you mind if I give a shout out
Yes.
to
Absolutely.
The Murphys if they're watching? I hope you guys enjoy. This is my second time broadcasting, so yeah, hope you enjoy.
Well, that's great. It's great that we got people watching. If they have any questions, I encourage them. We've got some folks here who kind of comment who've been around and have been watching for a little bit. You can leave a comment on the YouTube stream or the Twitch stream, whatever they're watching on, and they can interact. I can pass those along as well over the broadcast. So we try to make that a little interactive. Yeah. And this broadcast is a little different. It's not, and I get made fun of for saying this week in and week out, but it's not professional. We kind of do this for the league, and so that's why we can have some fun with it. There you go.
Jonathan Dance and Don Park are probably worth watching as well.
Yes, yeah, that is, we were just talking about them, Team Adequate Racing. Adequate is a understatement, but there you go. For those who may be watching the broadcast for one of the first times, on the left-hand side, we've got the timing tower, which is going to populate with all the best qualifying times of the session. And throughout the race, you'll see green as a personal best for the session, and then magenta, obviously, the best. And you can see Nikolai Wood having set the best time of the session so far, which makes sense. And so his time is in magenta up there. One thing to keep in mind as we see the 54 car, I believe that's Don Parks taking a spin. Good timing, because I wanted to mention that in order for your qualifying time to count, you cannot have any incidents or off tracks or anything like that. It's got to be a clean lap. So that kind of makes you obey the off-track limits just a little bit more than potentially on a race where you might be able to push it just a little bit longer, because your lap will count then, but certainly not in the qualifying. And we'll check in here with Edwin Villarino, who has taken over the top spot with a 133.892 in that slick-looking 39 car, and his teammate Christian Perez in tow. Although it looks like we do have, is this Team Storm, Joshua Dancy setting a really fast time with Jonathan Dockery. He's going to take over the second, but Jason Bice of Team Undecided is going to split the difference. I do not know. Let's see if we can see where Steve Dewar is. He's back there. So Team Undecided is a little split up right now. Not getting the advantage of that draft.
So Team Undecided is Steve Dewar and Joshua Dancy?
And Jason Bice.
Okay.
Steve Dewar and Jason Bice, and then Joshua Dancy and Jonathan Dockery are on Team Storm, which you can see them in their Storm liveries. One blue, one red.
Cool.
Stick out pretty well.
Yep.
Also joining us tonight is A&W Racing. We've got Jake Ashe in the 77, who, once again, just a shout out to him. He puts together our finish line cameras for the start and finishes of the race, if nothing else. We use it a couple other times too, but he puts some time in every night to do that, so thanks to Jake. And Adam Wright, who is the Chicago boy, the 67. They seem to be a little separated here as well, but he's currently sitting in the 8th spot, and that is A&W Racing. Team Moving Chicane, one of my favorite team names, is comprised of Robert Longatano here in the 88 and Rich Butler in the 48. So that's going to be Team Moving Chicane. I feel ya on that one. I do always appreciate Rich Butler's paint scheme as well, the old P51, and he's running the old Jimmy Johnson number, so man after my own heart there.
Cool.
And we were talking a little bit earlier.
I've just noticed that there are a lot of blue and white cars on the track today. Like Steve and
who's that? We're
Jack
actually
Moffat.
just looking at Jack Moffat, yep.
And Nikolai Wood.
Definitely one of my favorite colors, so I get it.
Yeah.
We are looking here at Nikolai Wood, speaking of which, in the number 6 car. We talked about, and I lost their team here. That is the Voyagers with Jack Moffat, who is right behind him at the moment. I do believe that's Jack. Yes.
There's 1 minute to go still for the teams, and then the non-teams will get out there.
Fantastic. So they get that 7.5 minutes. Now, Ian, are they going to be allowed to kind of similar rules if you're out there after the 7.5 minutes? Will they kind of be a waterfall entry for the non-team drivers, or?
Yeah, they basically can finish the lap that they're on, but they cannot start another one.
Copy.
And we're now at 7:10 and counting down.
Just a question. Who's going to be starting in the pits for this race? Anybody? Or
me?
Oh yeah.
But I'm still going to go and try and set a time.
Well,
yeah.
played,
Hopefully not
Max.
500 hours.
Oh goodness. And I almost failed to mention here. I don't know if I just missed him, but Tyler Perchman is out here in the number 9 car with Jeff Torbeck. Jeff Torbeck in the 42. That is Gamecock GP. This is the South Carolina Gamecocks. I believe Tyler's a part of our racing team there, or they're developing a race car, building one. Probably get him in and explain that a little better than I just did, but awesome to see you out here. Great looking livery on that 42.
We should give a big shout out to James Hauser, because he was actually racing his car today over the weekend, and he's just got back and jumped into his Skippy to do these races.
And he's here. That is, yeah. James was racing at Summit Point, I believe.
Yep, that's
track
correct.
That we run in the iRacing. Only he does it for reals, as what I imagine the kids would say. All right, well, it looks like for reals as he's off the track there. He's probably a little getting used to the feel of a direct drive wheel versus a actual wheel. We'll forgive him for that. Looks like all the free agents are starting to make their way out onto the track now. Set down their hot laps, including you, Ian. And we will do our best to make our way through everybody here. I do apologize. We've got quite a field tonight, so I do not know. Let's see. We've got Scott Dorkins here. And he told me what nickname he wants, and I completely forgot already, and I'm totally bad, so I'm gonna roll with Scotty Too Hottie, although I believe it was Scotty Dizzle coming at you, and I'm supposed to do finger guns with it. So Scotty Dizzle coming at you, and I am doing finger guns. So there you go.
That's a pretty funny name. Scotty Dizzle coming after you. Wait, what was it?
Scotty Dizzle coming at you.
Oh, that's pretty.
I had to write that one down.
Where did that one from?
I've
just been flipping through the cars, and does Pete Monbrone, or yeah, does he have a new car skin, or is it the same? I don't remember.
It looks like that. So he and Walter Collada, who we talked about earlier, are team
Teammates?
Full Fuel Strategy. Yep. And you can see there in the 515 car,
Green.
although it looks like they kept their helmets. Because
still flip almost like emojis on their helmets.
That's right. It looks like we've got some it looks like we got a Futurama.
Yeah, the
paint scheme going on here.
What's the robot's name? Boomer, or starts with a B. I can't remember it.
Bender.
Yeah, Bender.
There you go. I was having a brain fart as well, but all right, great.
If you watch that show, you'll notice that it was not age appropriate for 7-year-olds.
That's yeah, probably.
I'm starting to hear things I didn't know.
I know. I was gonna say this is.
You already knew.
Oh, that's too funny. Javier Ruiz Arduengo in the house as well, in that 96 car, currently posting the 7th best time. They're going to go 3 wide down, I believe that's the Andretti straightaway, but my truck map's not working. Gotta get that reloaded. And Carl Dronke posting the 9th best time, although I thought he was on a team, maybe not. Carl Dronke's in there as well. Aaron
I
Law.
just lost all the car skins and textures for everyone.
Uh-oh. Little control R, maybe?
Everything's white. Yeah. Everything is still white. Oops.
Well, keep us updated on that. The 76, there's Mike Bowers making an appearance as we close in on 2 minutes, 15 seconds. And who could mistake the 687 car of Chris Herrera there? Running on empty, the gasless wonders. He and James Hauser, the aforementioned James Hauser, looking to make a splash here at Mosports Park. Paul Bachler, I believe is how you pronounce it. I don't know. He may be a new driver for Sunday Night Skippy, so welcome to Paul. I apologize if I've already introduced you. I have a very bad memory, and there's now over 40 of us, so any apologies, but welcome, Paul. JR Hoops is back. Awesome to see JR.
My iRacing just crashed.
Oh no!
I'll have to get back in.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll
I'm back
quick
in.
reset.
Yep, and I hope that will also reset the car paints and stuff as well.
Sean Trediak, currently in the 23rd qualifying position. Arduengo moves up to 4th with 1 minute remaining. Aaron Law, Chris Herrera, and James Hauser all make some good jumps there for the grid. We check in here with Vince Ball in the 16 car. On an outlap. Looks like he may have had an incident, so starting over. Oliver Hartley back here in the number 17 Google car. Going to be starting 30th in the field if things stand now as we tick down inside of 30 seconds. Daniel Pagowski Now, I don't know, my software here pulls data from iRacing, and I don't know how accurate it is, because I think we've proven before that it isn't. But we do have some Canadians racing with us tonight, including Arduengo, La, let's see, Darren Chernick, who's not on the track right now, Daniel Pogowski, who we're looking at right here, Barry Stockdale, and Nikolai Wood. And that's what I'm seeing, so.
Perfect for their kind of racetrack.
There you go. And that's going to be the 15 minutes. We're past that as I was looking at all that. So as these cars come across the line here, this will be their last chance to move up in the grid. As we see Herrera and Hauser do just that. Same thing with Bowers and Kay. Making some last lap improvements on their grid position. Good to see. Like Barry Stockdale will be coming around here as well.
I just noticed this. So Ricky, Vince Ball, and Oliver Hartley all have flaming helmets.
Perfect. I think that is just to add a couple miles per hour on the straights, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
All right. Well, it looks like that's going to finish the...
I'm clearly going to have to sort my helmet out.
Gonna have to put 100 flames on it.
I don't think even that will help me, Max.
I don't know if they stack or not. That's the only problem. So. Guess we'll find out.
Maybe we need to put a jet engine onto my dad's car.
That just made me crash faster.
Really test that damage model.
Or it'll get you into first, and then you'll crash.
And more heartbreaking. Well, we got looks like Carl, and I don't know who else that is right there.
So our usual first two, Christian and Edwin, Edwin and Christian, I should say, back in front once again, 1 and 2, and there's only oh my God, Christian was 132.679, and Edwin was 132.687.
As we bring up the qualifying results here, just like you 132.679, and yeah, I got it by 0.008. Congratulations to Edwin. Viva Edwin. See how that plays out. Good teammate strategy there, starting first and second. I don't know why all the teams don't do that, but we'll roll through the remainder of the grid here.
Is my screen frozen, or are all the cars stopped on the track?
They are gridding, so you should, yes, they're all...
Yeah, you'll see a bunch of cars just like sat on the track. That's fine. They'll disappear in a little while as they go to the grid.
Okay, I thought my screen was frozen because, like, usually race cars don't just sit on the track. Usually they're going...
Hopefully we don't see too much of that.
Although if you're thinking about if you're looking at one of those cars where their wheels are like all squiggly, it's because he wants to, when he starts, he wants to immediately go to the left.
I didn't know that.
Well, look at this grid. We've got 41 cars that'll be starting tonight. That is incredible. That is a mass O Skippies that's going to be heading down into turn 1. Luckily, it's not as quite as tight as some of the other ones, but like you said, there's some pretty good off-camber action to be had right here when we're all bunched up. So curious to see how that all works out.
It's going to be interesting. I'm just hoping that by not gridding will allow me to start from the pits.
That should work, yes.
Why do you want to start from the pits?
And we're ready to go green. Here we go. 41 Skippies make their way. Awesome. Whoops. wrong down there. We check in with Edwin here. Let's start populating so people know what we're looking at. Always a good idea. Edwin makes a big jump out. And my track map is just having a heck of a time. Oh, nope. Edwin's lead isn't as big as I thought, because there's Christian popping in and out of existence. Just a little bit of internet issues there. See how that works out.
Lando McMurphy rolled off onto the grass. It looks like he got hit, but I don't think any damage was done.
Alright. I have a feeling we're going to be having to review. It looks like Jason Bice has crashed. I see him falling way, way back as the timing tower. Trying to have, know why this isn't working. Alright, well, we're going to go with interval for the moment and not gap. Don't mind Christian Perez's name there. Looks like the internet connection may be messing with the standings there just a little bit. Alright, let's see as we get everything kind of sorted here, if we can go back and look at this Jason Bice crash.
What's the timestamp?
I believe it was 2 minutes and 51 seconds. He loses a wing. Oh, and the 77, is that Jake Ashe? Also is off. Like to see what happened there. Let's do one more right along with Jason here, and looks like Nikolai's nose cone just kind of came off for no reason. Oh, Jason just kind of lost it. We'll look back here at Jake. Oh, yeah, that was a it got punted by somebody there. Hard to see. Looks like we've... Oops, that's Ian. Spinning. Sorry, bud. And we've also got Tyler Kirchman. And we'll try to catch back up here with the race here. Just trying to see, catch all the incidents. Tyler just kind of goes around. No contact there. Oliver Hartley going off the track. Not exactly sure what happened. Don't know what happened there. Alright, well, let's go catch back up with the live action here. We're back live. Edwin's still in the lead. Jonathan Dance. And then Christian Perez still kind of blinking in and out just a little bit.
It's not easy, I tell you. The first about 4 or 5 laps are cold tires. It's really hard.
Well, with this much traffic, you got the cold tires. Let's check back in here. Looks like Jonathan Dockery may have had a yeah, coming down turn 1. Just like you were talking about. Lyndall McMurphy as well. I don't know. That was showing him crashing there.
Wait, how did Nicholas fall into 36? Did he crash?
I'm not... He was in pit lane there for a little bit. I'm not 100% sure what happened to him. I'm desperately looking through this event log to try to find what happened, but things are populating quicker than I can find them. But we got a great pack here still up at the front. Let's see if gap is finally working. There we go. You can see here only 2 seconds separate the top 9. Let's look forward from Pete Mobron's car, who's at the back of this large pack. He's got James Hauser right in front of him, Arduengo, Dronky, and Herrera's in 5th with Collada, Dance, Perez, and Viorino rounding out that top 9 group. It's going to be another couple seconds back to Don Parks, who's rounding out the top 10. They're not having an easy time themselves, though. If you look back here with Don and Jeff and Aaron Law, they've got a nice little pack of 3. trying to make their way back up to that lead pack, no doubt. I'm sorry, that's Don Parks, Mike Bowers, and Jeff Torbeck. Aaron Law is back just a little bit further, about 2 seconds back from them. Working with Joshua Dancy. And Joshua Dancy, oh man, saves it. Saves it going through Moss. No contact, but he's going to lose some time there.
On my screen, cars are going invisible and then popping back in.
Oh, and it looks like Rich Butler has gone off track.
They're going 3 wide at Walter Coltala. Well, they were.
Ooh, as Chris makes a move up into third, he's going to pass Jonathan Dance, if only momentarily. Chris Herrera makes a move up to a podium spot with Jonathan Dance firmly in his gearbox. Oops. Get a close-up there. Some great close racing. Looks like the tires are warming up just enough now where guys are starting to feel a little more confident. Looking forward to hear from Jonathan.
Looks like Ian just overtook Jason Bryce, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure.
There you go.
I think.
Yeah, Jason had to... So Jason Bice, Thomas Fotos, Jonathan Dockery, Oliver Hartley, and Nikolai Wood, I believe, have all been to the pits already. Involved in early race incidents, I believe.
Yeah, that's what gets most people. Like at the start of the race, everybody pushing for first. Well, that's what they're doing the entire race. But like everybody's so like bunched up in the start, like you get a lot of incidents.
Couldn't agree more, and I'll tell you what, I'm really surprised that there's been no separation on this top 9 still.
Yeah, they're still like...
Oh! Jonathan Dance goes around. Oh, they make contact. Oh, there's a lot of people out. What just happened? Alright, we're going to have to go back and look at that. Let's see if I can get the right people here.
What's the timestamp?
9:42. And we're checking out Carl Dronke's view. Not exactly sure what happened. Looks like Jonathan gets a little loose, gets into Carl. And let's watch that one more time, only from Jonathan Dance's chopper cam here. I believe he makes more contact. So that's gonna really shake things up. I believe that was Walter Collada and Javier Arduengo involved. And I don't know what other sort of damage occurred after that. So we'll see, but that's gonna put basically Christian and Edwin and Chris are now a group of 3, and almost 2 seconds back is Jonathan Dance and James Hauser and Pete Mobrotten. So that's split this top 9 up, and you know, they call it the broadcaster's curse, and I think I'm just guilty of it right here again. I was talking about how I'm surprised they haven't split up. That was not what I had in mind, but nonetheless, here we are. You can see that threesome back there. Looks like got Jack Moffitt working on Joshua Dancy with Adam Wright. Got his eyes on the prize there. This is the battle for 11th place overall. See them sliding down through turn 1, working their way up to Clayton Corner.
I lost it coming out of Moss. I've lost my front end.
No. That sucks.
Yeah, you are not now. You are not the first person that
has made that mistake.
Moss has bitten tonight. So Lyndall McMurphy may have also just crashed. See where there's some other tight racing here. A little further back in the field, we've got Ricky Burrows, who's got his eyes on the 25th spot, that currently belongs to Daniel Pagowski. You can see Robert Longitano watching from a distance there.
Like Nikolai Wood is gonna try and. I don't know. He might make a move, or he might not. It looks like he went wide.
Oh, nice save, Nikolai. Oh my gosh. Ay. All right. Checking back up here with Carl Dronke.
Maybe if, Jake Aki, he crashed.
Oh no. Jake Ashe back off. Check that out. Looks like parts are falling off of Carl Dronke's car. I don't know. Got Jason Beiswick behind him.
It looks like Jake might have slipped out. Yeah, he slipped out going around a corner and then hit the wall.
Carl Dronke hits the pits. I imagine it had something to do with the aforementioned parts falling off his car. I'm not exactly sure what happened. He was involved, I believe, in that earlier incident.
If some magical thing happened to Ian's car and he got his nose back, that'd be cool. Or if anybody got their nose cone back.
Gotta pack that that duct tape.
Yeah.
We'll check in again here at the front because there's some great racing going on as Edwin and Chris Herrera get together. And I'm still not 100% sure. Christian Perez now back in fourth, it looks like. So Edwin and Chris, almost a 2-second lead now on third place. Jonathan Dance, who's working his way back up, or trying to at least, after that previous incident. He's got the help of Christian Perez, James Hauser, and Pete Mobrotten. Edwin starts to pace Chris just a little bit, working it out to a half second, and they extend their lead to, well, no, actually, about the same. Jonathan Dance. But here's that second grouping that we were talking about. There's Jonathan Dance, Christian Perez, James Hauser looks on, with Pete Mobrotten just behind him.
Looks like Jonathan Dance may have gone a little bit too. I don't know. I've never really raced this track, so it looked like he almost slipped off, but I think he pulled it together.
Yeah, he's been swinging it pretty wide. He seems pretty loose.
And it looks like they're going three wide. Jonathan Dance is going 3 wide.
Woo!
Almost makes contact. That's some great racing, and you can see now from Jonathan's point of view, there's some rear end damage there to Christian Perez's car. Wondering how that's going to impact him as the night goes on. We are approaching 15 minutes now. It's a 40-minute race. For those who have not watched before, there's going to be one pit stop, and that's driven by a cap on the amount of fuel that we let these Skip Barber Formula 2000s carry. So right around that 20 minutes, right around halfway is usually when we start to see it, but we've seen before when Christian and Edwin, for example, are able to lead out in the front, they run a fuel strategy and undercut the rest of the field. And we've
with at least one of them.
Ian, who basically runs out of fuel every time.
No mercy tonight from Max. No mercy.
Every time I'm watching his races, he runs out of fuel.
Here's Adam Wright looking on Joshua Dancy and Jack Moffitt for the 11th spot. They've got another a little over 4 seconds to Aaron Law, who currently holds that coveted P10. And we would be remiss if we did not, and I'll try to get this up here. Scott made a request that I get a picture up for him tonight, and as I check in on him here, it does not look like it's working. So I'll try to get that fixed here as the night goes on. But Scott lost his dog of 14 years. So Bear, you know, your inner memories, and you can see a good picture of Bear there on Scott's car, and that's in honor of his man's best friend, like they say. So yeah. Shout out to Bear.
Yep.
All right, looking back up here, Samuel Bridges and Sean Trediak having a very fine race, working their way up through Clayton Corner. Looks like
you can definitely see how no nose cone impacts your speed.
It's insane. I can't get up to half the speed I used to, and I'm going around corners flat out where I'm not supposed to be able to do that.
Well, I still got to worry about braking zones as much, as he's got the 39 of Edwin Villarino and Chris Herrera right behind him. Edwin goes in, so this is what we see. We see this a lot. Edwin is going to take the fuel strategy undercut, maybe meet back up with Christian on the other side of the pit stop window. So that's going to leave Chris Herrera.
You got a pretty fast racer behind you.
And
there's so many fast racers tonight.
There really is. It's a great field. There's great close racing throughout the field. We'll speaking of which, we'll check in here with Robert Longatano and Daniel Pagowski, working their way onto the S's. And hey, Max Trucks and Stuff says hi. Not sure. Imagining
that is my friend Alex.
Hello, Alex.
Hello.
Awesome.
Shout out to Alex. I hope you enjoy. Yeah.
Oh.
What?
And we saw that might be. Trying to see if that's Christian's car. I can't see. No. Who else is back there? Javier, there we go. They got very similarly painted cars. I couldn't tell which number it was, but Javier Ruiz Arduengo working his way around some traffic as the 186 of Sean Trediak is slow. Dockery also with an off track. And since we're technically in the pit window with Edwin making a stop, bring up the pit lap for each driver, so you can kind of get a sense of where we're at. Looks like Christian was on lap 10 as well, which I did not catch. Interesting.
Oh my gosh, my screen is flickering like crazy. It's like going black and going back to the race. Oh my gosh, I think I might have to leave and rejoin really quick.
Oh, really flickering. I was gonna say it has a hard time updating with as the pit stops happen and positions change hands. We look in here with James Hauser, who just gets passed by Jonathan Dance. That's currently for the second spot. James Hauser is teammates with Chris Herrera, if you'll remember. Team running on empty. James having a difficult time. I thought he might be able to get up there and make contact with Chris and reconnect, but Jonathan's going to play spoiler there. Team running on empty sandwich. Timo Broughton's in. And it looks like Pagowski, Hartley, Butler, Ashe, Whirl. Whole bunch of drivers making their pit stops. So I may have messed up that whole Edwin and Christian call there. It looks like Christian may have gone in even earlier than Edwin and kind of reversed roles, so we'll see how that works out. I did not see that happen real time. Check in here with Jonathan Dancy from Team Storm. He's trying to track down Jack Moffitt.
Hey, just quick question. What's the Twitch again?
It's CavOK Racing. If you just search for that, CAVOK, DAVOK.
Yep.
Make sure you put the racing there at the end if anybody's out there watching that as well. So.
Yep.
There's some other CavOKs out there. All right, Aaron Law and Mike Bowers going side by side through the S's. That's a great show right there. Nice job, gentlemen. As Aaron Law ducks into the pits, he's going to be making his stop. That leaves Bowers, I'm sorry, out there in the 5th spot now. And you can see Chris Herrera's in the pits. That's going to leave the top 8 from Hauser to Wright all out there, but none have pit yet. Christian Perez and Edwin Viorino look to be the first drivers back who have actually made their pit stops, and they're only 27 seconds behind the leader right now. Now, total pit times, you got to account for slowdowns and everything, but we are looking anywhere between 16 to 21 seconds. So it'll be very interesting to see how this all shakes out once that top 8 decide to come in.
Hey, I just reconnected and it looks like Ian has his.
So we do have rules of the league. We do have one fast repair, and for those of you who don't do iRacing or are not familiar, it's a something that iRacing allows, and you can basically get a brand new car. You do have to come to the pit, but you get all your damage repaired, and we allow in this league for one fast repair per night. Now sometimes if you're in a race, you gotta kind of, yeah, and you gotta kind of think, you know, if I'm losing all this time because I'm missing my nose cone, do I come in earlier, even though I know I'm gonna have to stop for fuel later? So there's still a little bit of strategy involved, even with a fast repair. Steve Dewar comes in, ducks into pit road for his stop, and that leaves Mike Bowers and Joshua Dancy as the top 2 have not pit. Hold 17 seconds on Christian and Edwin at the moment. And if we look back here, you see Christian, Edwin, and Jonathan Dance maintains his podium position. He has made his pit stop, and he's pit about 4 laps after the fact. It's going to be another 2 seconds back to Chris Herrera. Let's hope he didn't skip on that fuel, but he's got teammate James Hauser 1.5 seconds behind him. So they are not in terrible shape at the moment. Not great shape, but not terrible shape. Timo Broughton is going to be in 8th place as he's tracking down James. And all of these guys, Don Parks, he's got a little bit more time to make up for adequate racing to catch back up to Jonathan there. But all of these guys are very, very fast drivers. If there's anybody who can you know, close that gap, it would be any one of these guys. I would not bet against them. And a little bit further back there is Samuel Bridges, who's rounding out our top 10 at the moment. But Jeff Torbeck in the 42 of Gamecock GP is not going to let him go easy. And it looks like we do have our final pit stops. So everybody's going to pretty much cycle through. Looks like Bridges is in. Cole has not pit yet, but got Dorkins, Scotty Tuhati still out there, and Kirkendall along with Adam K. And we can only fit 35 drivers, although there are 41. But as we cycle through these
How
pit
many
stops,
drivers can fit into the...
oh, there's enough pit stalls. My apologies. I just meant on the timing tower. We are not showing everybody, unfortunately. I'm going to bring up the pit lane time so everybody can see where people may have won or lost time on pit road. Looks like
Big crash in
Christian... Whoa, where's that?
Moss Corner.
Us. Huh. Lost connection there. Alright, well, I'll have to go back. I'll keep scrolling for that. Did not see anything pop up. Other times of note, Arduengo had a really fast time, Air 37, but you can see, within a few seconds. But a few seconds here or there can spell the difference on where you come out in the pack as well. So just another skill that these Skippy drivers have to learn on top of how to drive the track. Next stat we'll bring up here is total gains or losses for the evening. Jack Moffitt up 10, Darren Chernick up 12. Oh, Steve Dewar up 13. That's fantastic, as is Ken Kirkendall. Scott Dorkins up 22 spots at the moment. That's a really good showing.
Looks like there's like a little battle between...
So we're going to see these leaders get around some back markers here. This is going to be really interesting. Because how you make your way through the folks that you're lapping is going to set the stage for if those people behind you have a chance at catching you. Of course, you hope that they're communicating well. One thing that iRacers do have that other real-life racers may not is a communications channel. It's shared and only one person can talk at a time. So there are limitations, but you hope to see the leaders and the back markers making those communications to smoothly and safely affect these passes. And Christian Perez loses it. Edwin's going to slow up. That's going to give Jonathan Dance a run. Holy cow. Well, that's going to change everything. It looks like Chris Herrera is now going to be able to be 1.5 seconds back. And now Jonathan Dance is going to control the pace. Well, maybe not. As they go through the S's, Christian looking wide. Probably a little frustrated with himself. Look back from Jonathan Dance's view here. As we approach 10 minutes to go in the race. Very exciting stuff so far. It looks like the top three are gonna maintain a pretty good gap, for the moment at least, back to Chris Herrera. Got a race heating up here with Jack Moffitt and Aaron Law. This is gonna be for P10. Jack already working his way 10 spots up. Now 11 as Aaron Law goes off in Moss Corner. Next up for Jack is Jeff Torbeck. He's got a second and a half make up before Jeff has anything to worry about there. Back here with JR Hoops in the number 10. He's trying to track down Sean Trediak. It closed the gap to about a half second, but it looks like Sean is pulling away.
I think I heard Walter just say that he's out of gas.
Walter Collada out of gas. I believe.
What's
You might want to check that, but I don't know. I just heard him. I thought I heard him say that.
Well,
yeah,
he's not
going
out,
into
but
the pits right now, so
he's
he
definitely short. So I believe Team Fuel full fuel strategy may not. That is incredible. Yes, welcome to the team, Walter. Team running on empty. Fantastic stuff there. All right, let's check back in with the leaders. Christian Perez.
Wait, running on empty is Walter Caltala?
No, he's full fuel strategy. Of course.
Wait, that's his team?
So Jonathan Dance and Christian Perez are having a. What's that?
What?
What, are you confused?
Like, what team is Walter on?
He's on Team Full Fuel Strategy with Pete Mobrotten.
Oh. Okay, now.
Well, we were talking about Jeff Torbeck a little earlier with Jack Moffitt trying to catch up. He's now slashed a whole second off that time. And Jack is trying for that P9. He's going to have another 2.5 seconds up to Mike Bowers. All right. Well, Frank Sotela's got the dad joke of the evening. Looks like he didn't get Collada fuel this time. Oh, man. Oof. I do like that, though. Check in here with Jack.
My cameras and stuff are completely broken. I don't have the option to pick what camera. Everything is so laggy.
That's not great.
No. Wait, it fixed.
Yeah, it might. Some of it might just be the sheer number of drivers we have here. Okay, 5 minutes remaining in the race, folks. A lot of good racing still to go. Let's check in with Andrew Cole, who we have not talked about. It's got Javier Ruiz Arduengo ahead of him is back here for 19th.
How much longer in the race?
There is 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Well, until the, yes. Until the timer runs out.
And in their last lap, they smash.
Then it'll be the last. That's right. All bets are off at that point, and I, for one, cannot wait. I think we're gonna have some great. Let's try one more time with Scott Dawkins. There we go. There's the picture. Some real-world problem solving there. There's Bear. Rest in peace, Bear.
I'm coming off of mute just to tell Scott that I'm so sorry for his loss, and that we do totally love that. I see this picture and it's just so adorable, and I may be crying right now. So, R.I.P. Bear. We love you very much.
Yeah.
Welcome to the broadcast, Megan. I know you all have been wondering where she was, but she's just sitting right here. But yes, yeah. No, sorry, I interrupted you, Max. What were you gonna say? All right. Well said, Megan. Yeah, it's definitely said it better than I did, for sure.
I couldn't keep quiet. I'm sorry.
No, we're a dog family as well. We understand that and how hard that is.
Yeah. We don't have a dog, but my friends have dogs, and they tap into their dogs, and I understand.
It was great to see Jason Bice working his way back up to 16th after some early lap carnage.
Yeah.
We approach two minutes remaining. We'll do one last jump through the field here. Touch on some folks that we have not had a chance to talk. Darren Chernick running a great solid 22nd, up 11 spots. Great to see.
11
Thomas Photos,
spots.
who was in the pits earliest. Very good run, right?
Yeah.
Thomas Photos is up.
Who's gone up the most spots?
At the moment, it might be Scott Dorkins, to be honest with you. I see 23 for him.
23 spots?
Shout out to Ricky Burrows, who's up 11 spots. Very solid showing. Oh, Steve Dewar now up 15. We do not spend enough time on Steve Dewar. He's been quietly working his way in. Very solid, safe driver, and got speed. And I just don't know. I mean, this is a very good showing for Steve. Jack Moffitt and Jeff Torbeck have crashed as we come up here with less than a minute, but let's just check in real quick, see what may have happened. Oh, they both kind of, I believe that's Moss as well.
Wow.
No contact there, but yeah, that's...
It was really close.
Jeff gets rolling again as well. He lost a little more spots than a few more spots than Jack did, but oof, tough. That is tough. Jeff now back to.
I think Scott Dawkins has run out of gas.
Got Dorkins out of gas. All right, well, folks, we're passing the 40-minute mark here, so we'll check back in with our leaders. This will be the last lap. This is the white lap. We've got Jonathan Dance, Christian Perez, and Edwin Viorino. 1, 2, 3, and it is all them on an island at the moment. Jonathan Dance on his own as they're working their way through Moss Corner. There's traffic off in the distance. They're going to have 3 back markers that they're going to have to work their way through on the Andretti straightaway. Go to chopper cam as Christian's going to go wheel to wheel. Can he get past him? No, he's going to use it as a pick though. Oh, Christian off the track, back on it. Able to make the pass on Jonathan. They're going to come down through the S's. There's not many turns left. White's corner coming up. Can Jonathan make it stick? No, he can. It looks like Christian's going to pull it out. Edwin Viorino a little further back. Finishes 3rd. Chris Herrera with a 4th place finish. Pete Mobron 5th. Don Parks 6th. James Hauser's going to come in with a solid 7th place finish. Mike Bowers in 8th. Aaron Law 9th. And looks like Jack Moffitt, Joshua Dancy. And who is that inching across the line? Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I didn't even see who that was.
Who?
I know. I was looking somewhere else. I was trying to figure out who else was coming across the line there. That was really funny. Oh
What
boy.
happened?
Somebody just was able to inch it across the line there.
Oh, there was a wrecked car in the middle of the track, and Ian smashed into it on his last lap. No. Darn it.
No, you're
Oh,
okay.
I'm so
You're okay. You're
sorry.
okay. I actually finished the race.
Wait.
I finished the
Wait,
race
I
first.
thought you were still on your last lap.
No, I had finished.
Oh my gosh, imagine being on your last lap and smashing.
That would be very sad. That would be very, very sad.
You don't even have half your car.
I don't. Oh, hang on. Oh, I still got an engine. Let's see if it'll start.
Hey,
Yep.
it's driving.
Here we go.
Wow.
Woo, I've even got steering. Look.
Wow, pretty quick. 100 miles
You've
an
got
hour.
3 wheels.
You got 3 wheels. Just do another 5 laps. Let's see. Wait, smash into a wall and then keep going. See if the engine will keep going.
I don't know if it'll do that.
I think you might be going faster than when you had 4 wheels.
Honestly, yeah. Good turning.
So terrible to him. There's so much shade going on tonight.
He doesn't even have a tire.
That is
It's
funny.
pretty quick though.
All
Wow.
right, ladies and
It's a
gentlemen.
little tough to drive.
A little
tough. Are your hands completely slanted?
No.
Wow, you
Well-
just 105 with 3 wheels. I wonder what 2 wheels would be
Alright.
like.
I believe that's MotoGP.
What's MotoGP?
Little motorcycle action. All right,
Oh
well,
yeah.
right. Well, congratulations to Christian Perez on the victory. Well fought, great last lap action there with Jonathan Dan. Actually, the whole end of the race there after the pits, they were neck and neck, really well fought. Edwin Viorino rounds out the podium for tonight. Chris Herrera and Pete Mobron will be your top 5. Don Parks, James Hauser, Mike Bowers, Aaron Law, and Jack Moffitt. A solid top 10 finishes for all of them. And apologies to everyone. Let's scroll through the results so you don't have to hear me say 40 names. And eventually I will get, it says privateer. I'm still working on how to get that to select everybody's team.
That was a pretty good race.
Very good race. Very good race. There's a lot of action. I like the difficulty of the track. Saw some great teamwork out there, and
A lot of
some
head-to-head action.
shenanigans as well. Yeah, we didn't keep the shenanigans on Saturday this weekend, but that's all right. It's fun to watch. Looks like 23 cars ended up finishing on the lead lap.
I just had a crazy thought. What if they made a Formula One racetrack in space?
Like just in space or on the moon?
Like in space. That'd be so weird. I don't even know why I'm thinking about that.
That is I
Just
don't
'cause
even know
I'm
how that would
thinking
work.
about racing, and then I don't even know.
All right, well, let's go to everybody's favorite part of the evening here with some post-race interviews. We've got Jonathan Dance standing by, and Jonathan had a great race. It was a mid-race incident, but was able to hang tough, and the last lap, especially, but certainly after the pit stops, was really fun to watch. So, Jonathan, talk us through how the race went for you.
Yeah, yeah, just in the beginning, there was an incident with, sort of beginning, incident with Carl, kind of pushed him off the track. So I expect to hear from the stewards on that one. But, I mean, obviously not intentional, but just racing. And, was able to run with the front group this week and had a great qualifying. So that was a great setup. And then, we were just trying to catch Chris, who was running up front there for a while. James and I were running, trying to do leapfrog before the pit stop. And then the pit stop, I think maybe like James and Chris took a bit too much fuel. And I came out right behind Edwin and Christian. And the rest is just us playing together.
Yeah.
So I saw that back straight in the draft, and then of course Christian and Edwin came together, and I snuck through, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I even survived.
You did pretty well. Good job.
That was some really good wheeling. I thought for sure Christian was gonna lose it on I believe it was, I forget, it was the S's or something like that. It was right there on the end, there was that back marker. I wasn't sure who was going to use who as a pick on that, and hold their position. But yeah, that was really really well fought.
There's definitely that backstretch got real interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of I was like, no, don't box me in. I kind of moved a little to the left, and he gave me space. And then the second back marker, I mean, he went on the grass and was able to hold it. So kudos to him for just being able to wheel it on the grass like that.
Ian brought up before the race how the length of the track is going to lend itself to passes having to happen. You just don't hope that it's going to happen on the last lap when you're fighting for the lead. But I thought not much anybody could do, but it was really well driven by both you and Christian, obviously. Fun to watch for us at any rate. But now you are, if I'm not mistaken, and I had my cheat sheet up in front of me, but you're teammates with Don. Yes, yep. Yeah. So, have you guys how have you approached the whole team aspect to the season so far? We're about 3 races in now. I'm not sure anybody kind of really we're feeling it out. You see that as something that you guys are working together with and coming up with tactics, or is it just we work together during the week anyway? So,
I mean, we were working together last season as much as we could. It mostly comes down to quali, and then it's if you see each other in the race, then maybe you can work together. But it's for instance, me and James are working together in this race. It's right. You're always just trying to get to the front. And when you got a draft, it's much faster to work together than to try to fight you into every corner and make it difficult. So, unless you're if you're fighting for the lead, obviously, then there's no one to catch, but otherwise there's always someone in front of you to go for.
Awesome, man. Well, any sponsors you want to shout out or ways to say hi to?
No, not really. Yeah,
Okay,
just
all right, that's
shout
fine.
out to my teammate Don. Gave me a great launch in quali, and that worked well this week, and we were able to put a good time on the board. So yeah, no, that's really it this week.
Awesome. Well, Zanvort, I believe, is next week. Are you looking forward to that?
I haven't given it an ounce of thought.
Nice.
But
All
Zandvoort's
right.
fun. So yeah, it should be a good race. I think it had some good results there last season, so it should be fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much, and great race, great finish on the podium, and we'll look forward to another podium finish next week.
No pressure. Thanks very much, guys.
Yeah, right.
Nicely done, sir.
Good job.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay, let's. We've got Jack Moffitt waiting for an interview as well, and Jack had a fast car and was picking his way through the field there at the end. Ended up in P10, which is fantastic finish in and of itself. But curious to see, Jack, what do you think of the race tonight?
Oh man, that was a crazy good race. I had a close race the whole time, dodging cars. It was pretty great. I think I was thinking like it's a testament to the quality of racing in the league that when I came around, I think the last turn on one of those laps there was a pretty big wreck near the pit lane entrance, and I weaved around it, and Joshua Dancy was right behind me, and he managed not to get into me, and we both made it through totally unscathed. I was like, this is so much different than pub races.
Yeah, you and I think it was Joshua Dancy for the majority of it. It was really fun watching you guys race together. Some great, I'll say like upper mid pack because we've got 40 people in the field now, but it was really fun watching you. How much Mosports Park experience have you had? Is this one of your where would you rank this roughly for yourself?
It wasn't one of my favorite tracks, and I didn't actually drive it until Wednesday night practice. And I was having a lot of trouble, and then something clicked, I think, right before the end on Wednesday night. And then on Friday, I did pretty well. And I did 2 pub races today, and I was able to do reasonably okay. I was in high strength of field, so I finished mid pack, but I had pretty good results given my normal pace. And then I had a great race. I felt like
Good job.
I had that one thing on the penultimate lap. I dipped a tire on that hairpin. It just totally spun the car, but managed only to lose 1 place. I don't know if I took out Joshua Dancy on that or not. I saw he was off in the grass after, but I came back out on track behind Aaron, right in front of Adam Wright, and then I had to work like hell to keep Adam behind me.
Well, I mean, it was an amazing race. We had 13 leadership changes during that race. So think about that. That's pretty amazing.
You're a little low, Ian, but I believe you were saying we had 13 lead changes during the race.
Yep, that's right. Hold on, let me. Is that better now?
There we go. Yeah.
All right. That's a lot of lead changes. You know, I mean, it's quite incredible. And I think good thing for the league to be able to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So Jack, you were at one point in time, you were up to 7th during the race.
Yeah, I was doing pretty well in the pit stops. I did last race at Spa. I took too little fuel, so this race I decided not to risk it, and I cut off my fuel at 1.9. I think I could have cut it off at 1.7 and finished, but I gave it another 0.2 gallons. That gave me plenty of fuel to finish, and I came out right ahead of Adam, and I think Joshua pitted later, like a lap later. But my pit stop was apparently pretty slow because I came out in 13th, I think.
What do you know? What lap you pitted on? Was it lap 15 or 16?
I don't remember. It would have been the second to last possible lap that I could have fitted.
Yeah, I had your total on-time pit lane time of 41.08, which a couple seconds slower, but not too bad.
Yeah, I'll have to work on that.
Well done, sir. It was a great race for you.
Thanks.
Good
Just want to give a
job.
shout out to my brother if he's watching. It was a great race and enjoy the broadcast.
Good stuff,
Awesome.
mate.
Well, hello to Jack's brother.
Hello.
Awesome. Well, all right. Well, we'll see you next week at Zandvoort. Looking forward to it.
Me too. Bye.
Bye-bye. No, I mean, I'm
And
looking at the lap charts here, and I mean, it really is quite incredible to see how these people did. You know that Edwin, who came third, actually at one point in time was running 14th.
yeah, I'm curious to see how far back he was actually running, and we've got him in the interview standby booth. He was having some, I don't know if it was my end or his end, some internet connection issues. So he was jumping around the standings quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was indicative of reality or not, but who better to ask than the man himself, Christian? Awesome win tonight. That was some really great racing there, especially at the end after the pit stops. It was a lot of fun to watch you and Jonathan Dance battle for the lead. So, what do you think of the race tonight?
Good night. Thank you. The final was pretty close. Was fun. And I had connection issues at the beginning and in the middle of the race. That was a little scary. I know that normally when that happens, the racing's just closed. So I was praying, and I have luck, and the connection just repaired himself. So perfect.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I wasn't sure if it was. I was just saying I wasn't sure if that was on my end or your end, but seeing you seem to bounce all the way between like first and 20th on the standings board there for a while, but I'm glad that worked out and you were able to stick it through because it ended up being a fantastic finish to the race. Other than the internet issues, do you feel that the race went? You won, so obviously it went well. But were you guys was there a strategy that you guys had, or were you just kind of making it up on the fly?
No, we don't have really a strategy. We just were improvising. If the group splits, we do one thing. If doesn't, we do another thing. So it just good. That's all. Enough
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I think I forget which lap it was on, but early on there, I think it was Dance and Drunky connected, and that was it. You guys were able to push out a little bit. I'm sure that changed the tone of the race for you.
Yes.
So very cool to see. The other thing we're watching on the screen right now is going up into the final turn there, working your way around some of the lap traffic with Jonathan Dance.
With Carl.
And you did a little off-roading there.
I almost killed you. I almost killed him. He ran out of fuel, and he stayed there like, "Hey, hello guys, I'm right here in the middle of the track."
So he was talking to you on the comms on the radio.
No.
Yeah, okay.
You came around the corner and just found him right there then.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know how that feels.
I had to do like on cars, push him into the finish line instead of winning.
There you go. Now, Christian, I noticed that you pitted, I think it was on lap 11, is that right?
Yep.
For fuel?
Because no, I have damage on the rear.
Right.
I get a kiss from Chris Herrera because I blinked in his face and he had no chance to avoid that. And then I pitted. I did a fast repair and just push.
Well, you pushed all right because your next lap was a 1:32.4, and it was
Yep.
the fastest lap of the race.
Oh, okay. That was good.
When you came out of the pits, you were in 15th position, and by the end of your next lap, you were in 12th, and then you were then 12th, 11th. Oh gosh, what's this? 7th, 3rd, and then 1st within a few laps. So from within
Nice.
six laps, you were back to 1st position. So that must have been a heck of a drive.
No. That was a strategy. All that's all.
Oh, okay. Strategy always. I like to hear that. I like to hear that.
Oh,
I thought
man.
you did really well. Good job.
Thank you.
Praise indeed.
Awesome. Well, Christian, great race as always, and you and Edwin, I got to imagine, are once again just kind of running away with the teams. You got a first and a third tonight, so
Yes.
curious to
great
see
for
how
our team.
what the standings. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. It's gonna be tough
I
to
think that
keep up. Are you?
we should be leading the team championship. I think so.
Oh, is that
Right?
Yeah. I would imagine.
I think so.
I got to look at for sure, but I would bet
we have to
$100 on that tonight.
to still on this position. We hope.
Well, not that you're bad at any particular track, but how do you guys feel about Zandvoort?
Good. It's like racing on Zandvoort almost all the weeks. We had Zandvoort 2 seasons ago. The last season we had Zandvoort, and this season we had Zandvoort twice. So Zandvoort is it's okay. It's a nice track, nice with the Skippy drafter one, but you can save a lot of fuel, and that's cool.
Yes.
So I think you're telling us
Yeah.
your secrets already. So you're going to fuel lower than you need to and keep it back that way, right?
Yes, on Zandvoort I will
There
save.
you go.
He's
He's giving you guys.
I will
He's
save.
He's giving you the answer key.
Heard it here first.
Outstanding. All right, Christian. Well, thank you very much for spending some time with us. A great win once again, and we're very much looking forward to seeing you guys race again next week.
Okay.
Now, one of the things. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. No, yes,
Go
yes.
ahead.
Tell me.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say ciao. So tell me.
No, that's it. You were good.
That was the most awkward goodbye
Yes.
ever.
Exactly.
What was that?
Ciao.
You're like,
Can I-
you told
Viva
me
Christian.
Can I
that
go? Can I go?
Yes.
Or I will stay here?
We will let you out of this misery right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So
Bye.
All right.
I'm gonna pretend
Good job.
this will happen and ciao.
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 Eh,
Sorry. The muted booth for some reason. I don't know why.
Yep.
But
Move myself.
I was going to say, welcome back, Megan. We haven't seen or
I
heard you
know.
for a while.
Hello.
Just left the room too. I don't know if she. Oh no, she's got her phone here. Yeah, of course you say hi the minute she walks out the room. Yeah, it was good. Finally got her to come here. She was a little nervous about, not nervous. That's the wrong word, but hesitant to just jump right back in. But you wanted to watch and participate. Oh, here she is.
Welcome back, Megan.
Oh, I don't think that activated there. Try it again.
I can't hear her.
I
Hello,
can
hello.
a tiny bit.
She's
Her microphone
Yeah.
says muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was grabbing wine.
A very clever and intelligent thing to grab.
yes. The
I think I might have to grab some myself.
post race juice. Yep.
Exactly. So, Megan, I've really missed your categorizations of some of the more and less attractive vehicles that were running on the track.
Yep. So that's actually why I had to step in and actually say something. I was on mute most of the time today, but when Chris introduced Scott's car and I saw that Bear was on his front and that it was his introductory picture, I just had to say something because we're a big dog family, and I just love that you know, I've always said this the couple of times that I've been on the broadcast, how much I find iRacing to be, you know, obviously since Max is here, family, something that we can all do as a family and enjoy. And so being able to just even see the furry parts of our family, part of the, you know, the group and being part of it, I just had to say something because I just love that so much.
I'm so glad to hear that. So are we gonna, you know, is your employment hours going to allow us to see you a little more often this time, or do you think that this is going to be but a brief and fleeting appearance?
Nope, I think I will be back. I've actually missed sitting here with Chris and watching the races, and this was a really fun race, and so it's definitely gotten me back in the spirit, and I hope to be back many more times throughout this season.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I am going to say that when I first started to run on this track, which was I guess on Wednesday or Thursday of this week, I hated it. I hated it. Now I quite like it. You know, once you get used to those stupid, weird corners, the straightaway bits are just fun. There's only 2 or 3 straightaway bits, but those bits are fun.
I'm, you know, been meaning to get back into racing, and I know that would disappoint some folks who wouldn't get to see their loved ones broadcast per se, but this is one I wish I would have had back. It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was. I say that as a bit tongue in cheek. It is a very, very fun track to run. It is a difficult track to overtake on. It is a difficult track to keep your wheels on the tarmac on if you're not careful. You really do have to pay attention. And I'm going to say for the record, I am drenched from that race. Unbelievable. I just didn't expect it, and I am just, I left some weight behind, which is good.
That's the workout, and you got to race. I mean, it's a win-win. And then you get wine. Win-win-win.
Well, I'm going to go grab a glass of wine. I feel like we finished a bit early this week.
Potentially, yeah.
It's only 10.
I mean, usually we usually have more interviews, but not too many people want to talk tonight, which is fine. That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, any closing thoughts from you guys as we go in next week? It's a fun track, Zandvoort, and I think it's a fun Skippy track, but I don't know what you think about it. But
no, it is. There are a couple of corners that you really have to figure out. But it is a fun track to drive. I haven't looked to see which of the. Let's have a quick look just now. We're using using the Grand Prix. Okay, so yes, the standard one that we've done before.
Right.
So yeah, it is a fun track to drive. There are a few off-camber corners, but in the most part, it's cambered. And talking of Zandvoort, of course, because of COVID, this was one of the tracks that was going to be on the 2020 Formula One circuit, one of the races, and it got cancelled. And it's a brand new track. They've built a whole bunch of banking on it and stuff like that, so it'll be a lot of fun. But just getting this whole Segway thing working, the first Formula One race of the season is this coming weekend. So I'm very excited to get ready to watch that one.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. And while I'm saying that, I want to say it now. Happy 4th of July, because the next time we'll speak to you will be, the 5th of July.
That is true. I was not even tracking on that. I didn't even know July was coming up, to be honest with you. So,
well, there you go.
Well played.
Yeah, it's a 376th day, which is Blur's Day of the 15th of who knows what, right?
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's well put. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. And I thought there was only 365 days, not 366 days.
It feels like that's probably been about, so in January there was 29, 30 days, whatever it was. February there was quite a few days. March had 416 days. April was 27,295 days.
This is a leap year.
It is. Oh my gosh.
This was an extended month.
It was. All right. Well, we're now talking a load of crap, so I think we should probably leave people's
That's
eardrums.
we're hemorrhaging viewers at the moment. I can actually just see the number tick down. So
I can hear Megan laughing in the background.
yeah, it's,
Rest in peace, viewers' ears right now.
Exactly.
yeah. Oh boy. All right. Well, Max, hey, thanks for joining us again. Well done today. That was awesome to hear you call some of the action. How are you feeling about the whole broadcast thing?
I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
I hope I'll be here next weekend. Probably.
That would be great.
Brilliant.
What'd you
Well,
say?
hey,
You said that would be great, mate.
No, what'd you say?
I said, you sure will be.
Okay. I sure will be then.
perfect. All right. Ian, any last thoughts?
No, mate. I thought that was a really, really good race. I think, generally speaking, everybody was extremely respectful. Again, clean racing, some hard racing up there at the front. I'm really looking forward to watching the broadcast myself to see what was going on, all the bits that I missed. I really did enjoy myself. I thought that I had some good laps, which was good. You know, slowly sort of getting myself a bit better. I managed to climb a few places, which was nice, having started from the pits this time. Yeah, I think that you know, the league goes from strength to strength. Zandvoort should be fun. And of course, after Zandvoort, we're going to VIR, Virginia International, for the North Course. So that's going to be a laugh as well.
Yep, the one that we're all familiar with, and I believe the North Course was what we did for week 13, not this past time, but before that. So
That's great. Yeah, that's what we used. And I need to start thinking about what we're going to do for week 14, because before you know it, it's going to be on us.
they'll be here. Yep, exactly right. Yeah, it's crazy to think, but yeah, just like it's almost July, it's almost gonna be week 14 here before you know it. But
There you go.
all right, Megan, any final thoughts?
Well, since happy 4th of July to everybody, but also happy birthday to Chris. His birthday is 2 days before the 4th of July, so we obviously will not be on until after his birthday. So happy early birthday to him, and an early birthday also to our soon to be 4-year-old as well, Corbin. We basically, all of us have summer birthdays within like a week of each other, so which is great for the pocketbook. So we are excited for the 4th, and I am happy to be back. I very much enjoyed the race tonight, especially at the very end with Christian's off track and then still pulling it out at the end. I mean, that was incredible. I'm sure if you listen back to the broadcast, you'll probably hear me screaming in the background of Chris's speakers, just because that was an amazing end, and so props to him and to everybody for finishing a really clean and good race tonight.
Brilliant.
Well, yeah, my final thoughts are I just wanted to say to all the drivers, we're doing our best to try to get everybody, you know, to what you said, Ian, seeing everything that you missed. We miss a lot of stuff. It's so great to have 40 drivers on the grid, and we are so lucky for that. But we will continue to try to get everybody in. But until we start doing 3-hour endurance races every time, I don't know that we'll ever get there. But you know, I hope we're representing everybody as well as we can, and we'll take recommendations and stuff like that. But it was fun to watch, and appreciate everybody who actually sits there and watches, and then after the fact, and it's really cool. It's starting to feel like a little, you know, internet stranger family, which I really enjoy. So yeah, that's all I got. And I guess until next week, be safe and you know, practice some self-care whether that's wine or whatever you gotta do, a little bit of iRacing, and I'm looking forward to Zandvoort and calling it with Max and Ian and hopefully Megan as well. We'll get her back. And until then, good night.
You too. I'm tired. Bye bye.
Good night.
That was fun.
Right.